Hey guys, I have no clue if I'm actually gonna have this be the intro, but that's my business. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to make the yarn hammock. So today we're gonna be using an 11.50 millimeter hook. Oh, where's my camera? Or a size P hook. You can use any size for this. It just depends on like how much time you want to put in this and how meshy you want the mesh to look. Because that's essentially what we're making today, is a mesh. And you can use any yarn you want. You can use leftover yarn, just any yarn you want. This is a weight 4 from the brand Big Twist, and that's like all I remember from it because I don't have the label. And yeah, but you can use any yarn that you want. I tend to use yarn that's not as popular because these are just like nets to hold more yarn, so whatever. We're gonna start off with the slip stitch. So there's a long end and then there's a short end, right? So you're gonna cross over the short end, hold everything, hold everything. Put your fingers inside, right? And then you're gonna grab the short end like that, kind of hold on to it, pull everything together, and pull. Make sure you still have a little short end. And that was how you make a slip knot. So you're just gonna insert your hook and you're gonna pull on the little end. So, and now everything is secure. So we're gonna start off with, you can make this any size you want, and I'm just trying to think of how big I want mine right now. So I'm gonna chain up, and you wanna, for this project, I believe you should look at the space that you want to put the mesh net at and just see how big it is. So I'm gonna just chain up. Let's see how far I get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Alrighty, so I just chained up 60 loops, right? So that's how many I did. Mind you, this is gonna stretch, so keep that in mind when you're making your own. So after I chained up 60, I'm gonna just kind of pinch where that last stitch is. So this is the last stitch. I'm just gonna pinch it just so that I remember where it is. And I'm gonna chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I chained up 3, and I'm gonna insert my hook into the one that I pinched off. But before I do that, I'm gonna yarn over and then insert it into the one that I pinched. So right now we're going to be doing a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, and then you're going to pick up, yarn over again, and pull through so that you have 3 stitches. So I'm going to yarn over again, and I'm going to pull through 2, yarn over again, and then I'm going to pull through 2. And you just made a double crochet, and that's how it looks. So I'm gonna chain 1, so I'm gonna yarn over, chain 1, go through, and then we're gonna do another double crochet into the same stitch that we did the first one. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We just made a V stitch, so if you look closely, it looks like a V. So next we're gonna do is another chain 1. So we're gonna yarn over, pull through. So it should look like that. So since we yarned over and pulled through and made a stitch, we're actually gonna skip the next one, the next stitch, right? Because this chain 1 is like a gap filler for this one. And we're gonna yarn over, and instead of going into that stitch, we're gonna go into the second one right next to it. So yarn over, insert, pull through, you've got 2, yarn over, pull through, you've got 2, yarn over, pull through, you've got 1. So then we're gonna keep repeating that V stitch pattern until we get to the end of our row, and I'll show you when we get there. Okay, so we're back. So my chain or my row looks like this, right? With mine, you can see that it's like, you know when you crochet and it starts to like buckle on the foundation row? That's okay with this project because it really doesn't matter. You're just hanging yarn from it, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So we're at the, let me flip this. We're at the end of the row, and I think we're on our last, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on our last 4 stitches. So I'm just gonna keep finishing up until I am, until I'm done. This project is very easy. It's like, you don't need to, like, break your back trying to do it. You're just hanging yarn from your ceiling. It doesn't need to be any deeper than that. So this is very beginner friendly in my opinion. You're just essentially making a square. You're just making a big square or a big rectangle, and it could be any size that you want. For the one that I originally made, I made mine short at the end, and then I made it long. So width-wise, I made it pretty short, but length-wise, I made mine really long. So the original one did take like 4 hours to make doing that, but that's because I needed a big one. So we're at our last, like few stitches, and if yours doesn't look like this, that is completely fine. Last 2, so what we're gonna do is I still chained 1, and we're gonna go into the last stitch. So just double crochet in there. And it should look like that. So from here, we're gonna chain up 3 to make the next row. So you're gonna yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 3, and then flip your project. And we're essentially just gonna keep going. You can make this as loose as you want. You can even do this with your fingers. I'll show you that literally right now. You can literally crochet with your fingers, so if you don't have a hook that big, many people don't, that's okay. I will say crocheting with your fingers is a little difficult, so I mean, it is what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yarn over my finger, right? I'm gonna insert it into this gap. So yarn over, insert, and I'm just gonna pick up that piece and have 3 loops on my finger, and you can make it like loose. You don't have to be this tight to it. You can make it loose, right? And then I'm gonna yarn over, and I'm just gonna pull through that too. I'm gonna yarn over again, and I'm gonna pull through that last 2. However you gotta do it, it'll get done, right? So then after this, I'll just pick up and chain 1, pull through that loop, and then I'm gonna do it again. So I'm just gonna yarn over, insert it into there, pick up, have 3 on my finger, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. Like I said, this is very beginner friendly in my opinion. You can make this as loose as you want, as big as you want, as small as you want. Change colors out if you want. You can get as creative as you want with this little hammock. So I'm just going to switch back over to the hook because it's faster. But I just wanted to show you that you can still do this without hooks, even if you don't have it. So I'm going to just keep going with the pattern that we have. And essentially that's it. I can show you guys how I hang mine up, and I can show you how much weight it can actually hold, because I actually had one of mine break today because it had too much weight in it, so I have to make another one right here. So we're gonna yarn over again and chain up 1, and we're just gonna keep going. You're just gonna keep going. Keep in mind, the looser you make the stitches, the faster you will definitely get done with this. So if you're using a smaller hook, for instance, I just have a, for instance, if you're using like a 5mm hook, this is a 5.50, it will take you longer, but you could still make big loops on it if you just don't care about the consistency, because sometimes, like I said, you're just holding yarn with this. So look, I'll show you how you can make bigger loops with this. So you're going to yarn over, insert, pull up, and you're just going to pull up to where that, all of that kind of lines up, right? So you're going to pull up, yarn over, you're going to pull through 2, make sure everything is loose and like fluid. See? And now that stitch matches with all the other ones. Yarn over, pull through, make sure you pull so that it's not too tight. Yarn over, insert, pick up, make sure you stretch it out to where it meets up with everything else. Yarn over, pull through, stretch, yarn over, pull through, stretch. So you can still make this even if you have smaller hook sizes. Just keep in mind, you're gonna have to be pulling and stretching a lot, so it might take a little bit longer. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna continue with this until your desired length and size. And I'll show you guys how you can hang it up. Okay, so now I'm back with the completed yarn hammock. I'm gonna actually count how many rows I did. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I only did 22 for this go around because mine doesn't need to be that big. But if you guys want to make yours longer, then by all means, go ahead. But this is where I'm going to stop mine, so I'm going to actually grab some scissors. After you get done with your row, you're going to have your loop still. Grab your, I feel like I said scissors a million times. And then you're going to take the end and you're going to loop it in and then pull. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually install it right now. I'm trying to show you guys how long it is. It's like the length of like almost my body. So what I'm going to do is there's like a short end and there's a long end. So I'm going to take, I'm going to take it like this, where it looks like this. I'm just going to fold it in half. That's all. I'm going to fold it in half and it's going to look like this. And I'm just going to figure out how I want to put it up here. I want to put it like right in this little corner. So I'm going to put a thumbtack here. So, and I'm just using thumbtacks, you guys. Like nothing crazy, nothing special. You can play around with it since they are thumbtacks. They're like wall safe, obviously. Nothing too crazy. I'm gonna put the second one next to where my first one is, my first yarn hammock. So there's that. Because I have this like weird lip thing. Like there's wall, there's this like ledge thing, and then, you know, you see. So I'm gonna take another thumbtack. And so far I've only used 3. And I'm going to tack it to this lip part right here that I have. Ah, god damn. Another thumbtack, I'm using 4. I'm using 4. I actually didn't need to use that one. And you can play around with how yours hangs and stuff like that. 100%. Actually... So this is what it looks like. Hold on. Go up closer. I have 2 of them sitting on one thumbtack. I have another one. There's one right there and there's one right there. I don't actually recommend putting multiple yarn hammocks on one thumbtack because it's a thumbtack and you will probably fuck up your wall doing that. So probably don't do like what I'm doing. But since I'm not carrying too much yarn in there for now, it's pretty good. So yeah.